Future Arcch here. When making this video, a lot of deception from Nick became apparent, such as manipulating the original donation.
So yes, I'm back making another video on this Arcch individual who falsely accused Nick30 of being some type of big scammer. So I've already made a few videos now going over this situation and defending Nick30, right? Showing the reasons why this guy's a complete and utter liar, and why people running with this narrative that Nick30 is a scammer is, you know, dumb. And after Nick30's recent response, a lot of people switched their tune, right? Unsurprisingly. Because the majority of people just run with whatever narrative is the most popular and don't bother to question things. Now, Arcch, after Nick30 responded, basically immediately responded on his communities tab, saying this will be my last response. He's now made another nearly 30-minute video. Just fuck off, mate.
Future Arcch here. When making this video, a lot of deception from Nick became apparent, such as manipulating the original donations. I have left timestamps in the description for every segment of this video. Please watch the full video before coming to a judgment.
He's talking about this situation like it's some big grooming situation. No, you called the guy a scammer when he wasn't, people ran with the narrative, right, and slandered the guy. It's very, very simple and very, very obvious to everyone now. I mean, it was very obvious in the first place, but quite a few people really didn't find it that obvious for whatever reason.
Nick responded, and I'll give props where props are due, it's very professional. But there are some things that I would like to clear up. I know I've said multiple times that this is my last response, but I feel like I have to make this video to clear my name.
I'm gonna do what Arcch does and pause it after, you know, like every couple of seconds, right? But this is just absolutely ridiculous, right? Clear your name. Bro, you falsely accused the guy of being a scammer. What do you mean clearing your name? Genuinely, this guy's incredibly irritating, and if I didn't have enough reasons to be ashamed of being British, this is one of them.
And I have some issues I want to address with his video.
This one individual has made 2 videos already.
Firstly, I'd like to address Nick saying I've made 2 videos already.
He played the video for like 2 seconds and paused it. Why are you addressing this? Yes, you made 2 videos. Get over it, mate. We're gonna skip this section, right? Because this is just pathetic.
Enters my name and calls me a scammer and liar.
Secondly, I do agree with Nick that the title and thumbnail of that video could have been better and do come off as a bit exaggerated. I will take accountability for that, and I have multiple times. I do think it's unfair to say he scams his viewers, and that's why I changed the title. Because when it comes to me, I feel that I was scammed. Yes, it might not be the exact textbook definition of a scam.
Let me get this from my head, right? This quote-unquote scam doesn't fit the definition of a scam, but it's a scam because you feel like you've been scammed regardless if it's not a scam. Right, I got you, man.
Refund, because everyone knows I would refund that donation within a heartbeat. I know it's not about the money. Otherwise, you would have asked for a refund, you take down the videos, but I know you're not going to. And I'm not one to censor anything.
Now, in all honesty, if I knew this, I would have gotten a refund and taken down the video. But I had no idea this was possible.
But I mean, if you're going to make a video saying that he scammed you, right, and he's a liar, or whatever you're going to say, right, surely you would reach out to the content creator beforehand to say, hey, is it possible I can get my money back, right, to try and resolve the situation, right? Try and message the guy before you call him a scammer. I know the guy is a big content creator, but surely you would just try it. Like, I don't get this mindset. It also just feels like he's saying this retrospectively because everyone's calling him out.
I only assumed it would be possible for people who maybe donate $500 instead of $50, or kids who have stolen their mum's credit cards. I also don't think Nick originally thought this himself either, as in his 16-minute rant, he never talks about it once. It just feels like he's trying to twist the narrative that he's this nice guy.
I'm sorry, this really makes no sense. Why on earth would he think about, you know, Nick30 picking and choosing what donations he refunds, right? This makes no sense to me whatsoever, right? Surely if you even thought about him possibly having refunds, you would just message the guy to see what would happen. Like, I don't get this. And to try and say that he's twisting the narrative to seem like a nice guy, it's just wildly bizarre. Like, I really don't get why this guy is doing all this, right? You're just a cunt.
For that. If I got refunded, I would have just deleted the video and moved on.
I think the criticism is here is that you didn't reach out before making your videos. So, like, why would you reach out after your video asking for a refund? Like, this makes no sense. By this point, you've already slandered him as a scammer.
I also feel like if you ban someone from donating, you should refund them, especially when you didn't do what you said you would do. This just feels like more of a PR stunt rather than his actual opinion.
Another absolutely ludicrous take about what a streamer should do in response in regards to, you know, donations and when he bans someone who donates. He can ban anybody, right, regardless if they've donated or whatever. Like, I don't get this, right? Get off your high horse, you weird, irritating twat.
Point, he starts talking about positivity, and it's a good message to give to his audience. But it's hard to believe after his 16-minute rant where he called me a douchebag, a scumbag, and lied to his viewers about how much money I would have made off that video.
Okay, why you critique this guy for not being positive all the time? You slandered him as a scammer. Of course he's going to be apprehensive against you, right? This is just logical. Not everybody can be positive all the time. Even bloody Nick30 when his whole branding is positivity. I really don't think in Nick30's original response he conducted himself in a great way for the most of it. But like, he's got every right to be angry. Like, I really don't get this whole thing that this guy keeps bringing up about him being quote-unquote Mr. Positivity. This is just frustrating.
I understand what you're saying here, but the fact is you said you would do it, leading to me donating more. Also, I don't have a problem with creators reusing content ideas, but you seem to, despite the fact you copy the same format every other big content creator does.
This might genuinely be the most pathetic response I've ever seen. What's he talking about now, like stealing ideas or copying ideas for a Fortnite channel? What is this guy even talking about in the first place? I don't get this. Unless Arcch, whatever you want to call him, right, drops like some big bombshell in this video, this nearly 30-minute response just seems incredibly unnecessary and just another way to, you know, milk that Nick A30 train.
Might miss it sometimes. People know this, and at the end of the stream, typically I go through my full list and get caught up on it.
Here, he actually just proves me right. This was a quiet stream for Nick. He usually gets around 16,000 viewers a stream on YouTube alone, whereas on this stream, he was averaging 5,000. So for him, this was a lot more quiet than normal.
This guy might genuinely be retarded, right? Like, this is just absolutely insane. There's still thousands upon thousands of people watching, donating, you know, sending chat messages. What is this guy talking about? I find this even more ironic because this absolute utter moron couldn't even control his own stream when he had like 100 people watching. So I don't know what he's talking about here.
Oh my days.
Oh my god, he's made another account.
Oh, I just spilled Coke.
It's not an example, by the way. I just found it funny that he just spilt Coke. So yeah.
Also throws up these big numbers to manipulate the audience into thinking he has a lot going on and a lot to read, but that's just not the case. I did a little bit of research, and no matter where you find Nick's streams, they're all on members only mode. You may think the chat will still move fast, but that's just completely wrong. Here's a YouTube short stream I looked at, and in the span of an hour there was no chat messages and 4 donations. One of these donations being this. Now this message did not get removed for at least an hour as far as I know. I just want to point out this stream was only 2 hours long, but not only does this prove his chat doesn't move or barely moves whatsoever on shorts, it shows there is little to no moderation, therefore exposing his younger audience to hateful language.
But he's streaming on several platforms with thousands of viewers. He's still going to miss some regardless. This is the most ridiculous point. And now he's talking about like hateful words, right? And about his bloody short stream not being one. I literally just can't with this guy. This guy's genuinely trying so hard to try and keep this narrative intact that Nick A30 is some bad guy. Like, this isn't even a big situation. It should have been a situation in the first place. Nick A30 is not a bad guy. Like, I don't get this.
I watched the whole stream from that moment forward, and it took him almost an hour to thank some of the YouTube Shorts donations, and he just didn't thank the TikTok people whatsoever.
Again, there is literally no obligation for Nick A30 to read out every single donation, to act upon every single donation, or thank every single donation. What has this guy been snorting? It's like this Arcch guy got called out for, you know, slandering Nick A30 as a scammer, and is now trying to scrape anything to suggest that Nick A30 is a bad guy.
I do think missing a donation every once in a while is understandable, but missing multiple in a row on the same platform, it's just ignorant, and it shows he doesn't actually really care about his viewers on those platforms. He's just streaming on them for the sake of it, for the viewership.
Again, there is absolutely zero obligation for Nick A30 to respond to every single dono. He's going to miss some donos. He's not going to read out every single dono, right? Like, I don't get this point, and it's just incredibly frustrating and annoying that this guy is still trying to hammer this home about these donations. It's not working, man. Give it up already.
Okay, so this is the big thing a lot of people are critiquing me for, and I do want to clear it up. After sending those donations, I could not find them anywhere, not on Nick's stream, not on Streamlabs, so I had to try and remember what I said as accurately as possible, and I feel like I did a good job. Also, the donations he shows on screen are polite. He just reads them in a really negative way. If you read them in any other voice, they sound fine.
But for one, you didn't even put this disclaimer in your original video, right? Nowhere in your original video, right? In that actual video, did you say that actually these weren't the actual donations, right? These weren't the things that I typed, right? I can't find them, but this is roughly the idea, right? You didn't say that, right? You made it out like these were the donations I sent, and this is how Nick A30 responded, when you actually see your original donations, right? It makes a lot more sense why Nick A30 responded how he responded in the first place. Not that it really matters in the first place.
In the third donation, I will admit I did come off as a little bit agitated, but I think a lot of people would after having to donate more and more just to get him to say something he said he would say.
Quick point here, you didn't have to donate more and more. You didn't have to donate any in the first place. That was completely and utterly your choice. There's no reason for you to be agitated. Get over yourself.
Originally. I do apologize though if I came off as disingenuous to anyone. I should have mentioned it in the original video. I do actually mention it in my second video, but I don't think that does it.
Usually I'd give props for something like this, right? He's admitting a wrongdoing here, a mistake, but the rest of this video is just so genuinely disingenuous and still trying to paint Nick A30 out as this really bad guy that harms his audience that I just don't give a flying fuck.
That he has completely cut out. I will show you them in a second, but it's becoming pretty obvious that he has removed certain things like these donations, avoided certain topics like his first response, and read things in a certain way to portray me as a disingenuous person.
I mean, mean, you are incredibly disingenuous. Also, he didn't show all the donations because that's not the point he was making in the first place. He showed the donations to show that, you know, what you were saying in your video by showing those donations weren't actually the donations that you had posted. So this is just absolutely ridiculous. You know, let's be a little bit more charitable to Arcch here, right? Maybe Nick30 should have shown these 2 donations throughout the video, right? These other 2 donations in any type of fashion throughout the video. But this is such a nothing point. I'm not kidding, for a good, like, minute or so, maybe more than a minute, Arcch tries to prove that he wasn't being passive-aggressive, when it very much comes off as passive-aggressive. Actually, scratch that 1-minute timestamp. He goes on about these donations and him not being passive-aggressive for, like, a good 5 minutes or so. He just keeps waffling about it.
Limited.
I shouldn't have mentioned the customs, and I apologise for that. I think it's cool that Nick gives his viewers the trusted role, even if they've got no money to play. Although, the clip I was showing did show his chat just simply messing up the roleplay.
Bro, you think you're the king? I'm the king. Oh, wait. Guys, holy, you're getting banned. That's it, okay?
No one was trying to troll him in this clip. You can see they all started shooting as they misunderstood him.
I love how he apologizes for, you know, bringing up something like the customs and then just follows up with another just god-awful point. Why are you still talking about these customs like it matters, right? You apologize for it, now just move on, right? Don't make another point about the customs, move on.
If I could go back and not upload those videos, I would. Not because I disagree with what I said, but it was a lot of stuff to deal with.
He kind of just took my joke right out in front of me. So he completely agrees with the stuff he's saying still. He just would have done it because he got backlash. What a fucking moron.
So why respond again and misinform people even more than you did the first time? Well, right after his video released, Streamlabs dropped a video where he is the poster boy for a new feature they have released in partnership with Nvidia. That's one of the richest companies in the world, by the way. It does seem a little suspicious, and it just seems like he didn't want to miss out on the potential brand deal there. But that is just a theory.
Again, this is just another ludicrous point, another ludicrous quote-unquote theory that has no evidence to back it, and he's just throwing things on the wall to try and make Nick30 look bad. He responded yet again because really the first bloody response wasn't doing it justice, and every commentary YouTuber and YouTube in general was calling him a scammer, so he wanted to respond to that. And this is literally made very apparent from the intro of Nick's video. So what's this guy talking about?
As if it wasn't important. Lastly, I want to say this wasn't for the money, views, or clout. I'm glad this has come to an end, and this will actually be the last thing I say on it, unless Nick responds again, but I doubt that. Also, to the people saying it's disingenuous that I got monetized after saying I don't care about the money, just because I didn't make money off those videos and I don't really care about the money that comes from YouTube, doesn't mean it wouldn't be nice to make a few bucks off of the future videos I'm going to be.
So you did in fact profit off the situation. He then follows up to say that this video that he's posted here will also be monetized and have ads. So what on earth are you talking about? You are monetizing this situation, and you have gained a lot from this situation. This is criticizable. You've built some type of audience, and you've got monetized, right? So you can make money off the back of slandering someone. This is very criticizable, man. Just own up to your shit and stop doing all this crap.
Doesn't mean it wouldn't be nice to make a few bucks off of the future videos I'm going to be producing. And yes, this video will be monetized, as was Nick's response. I have things to pay for, such as car insurance, and the boost this video will give me will be going towards the good things in my life.
You know, the response to me slandering some big content creator for no reason. They're like, yeah, that's going to be great for me, right? It's going to pay for a lot of things for me.
I'll be taking a break from YouTube after this video drops, and when I return, I want to do some sort of charity stream. The stream will most likely be for cancer research, as I want to turn this into something good, and cancer is something that has affected my family and millions of other families around the world. With this many eyes on me, it would feel wrong not to do something like that. I'm not doing it to try and dismiss the clout chaser allegations or anything like that.
It makes the point that Nick30 is saying and doing things to make himself seem like a nice guy, and then just does the exact same thing, right? Like, nice one. Honestly, such a shit response. Hopefully the guy just stops now, just leaves it, moves on, right? Like he said he will, like the hopefully, right? Fingers crossed. But what's your thoughts on this? Please feel free to comment down below. But I have been your host, Samuel. This is my second video today, so please subscribe, and I will catch you in the next YouTube video.